Greetings, this is Dr. Welch again. This is tape 3, and we will complete the questionings on the introduction to philosophy. Okay, the next question, Socrates wrote no books, true or false? That is true. Next, consequentialism states that acts are right or wrong based on their consequences. That is true. Consequentialism, or we can call it utilitarianism or end-space, that is the most popular theory today, and that is because we're looking at the bottom line or the consequences. That's used most in business questioning today, in decision-making. Deontology ethics states that we are morally bound to certain duties and obligations. That is true, and the rule is absolute and universal without any exceptions, and that would be irrespective of their consequences. And that is true. Philosophy is commonly defined as thinking of thinking, and that is true. And in our busy lives, sometimes we don't pause to think of thinking, and that's why we need philosophy. Care-based philosophy asks, how would you make a decision if you were being acted upon by another? True. Kant claims that we should do the right thing for the right reason, even though this would not be the greatest happiness for the greatest number of people. That's true. Kant's theory of deontology is different than utilitarianism and Mill. Utilitarianism and Mill allege in making a choice of consequences, you should think of happiness and what option creates the greatest happiness for the greatest number of people, and that is true. Describe an example of a choice that creates the greatest happiness. Suppose there's a trolley going down the street and it's in trouble. If it veers one way, it'll kill one person. If it veers the other way, it'll kill 10 people. Well, the greatest happiness would be created by not killing the 10 people. Mill, we will learn later, John Stuart Mill, was born in an intellectually privileged family, and that's true. And that's true for some of our philosophers, but not true for others. Aristotle wrote around 400 books, and that is true. He was a very brilliant man. Kant, K-A-N-T, which we'll study later, was born in a financially struggling family. That is true. Aristotle was the son of a physician, and that is true. Socrates was the son of a stone man and a midwife. That is true. The life which is unexamined is not worth living. This was said by A. Socrates, B. Plato, C. Kant, D. Aristotle. The correct answer is A. Socrates said that. Plato was born into a noble family. That is true. Mill, who we study later, served in the Parliament and was a member of Parliament and was born in London. That is true. He saw learning as a process of recollection. The answer would be A. Plato, B. Socrates, C. Kant. A. Plato is the best answer. He talked of our senses in our reasoning. A. Plato, B. Kant, C. Mill. The correct answer is A. Plato. He said that he was a citizen of the world. Was this A. Socrates, B. Plato, C. Kant? The correct answer is A. That was Socrates. He said, virtue is knowledge. Would that be A. Socrates, B. Plato, C. Kant? That would be A. Socrates. He said that evil is the lack of knowledge. That would be A. Plato, not B. Socrates or C. Kant. He acknowledged his debt to the Socratic method. Would that be A. Aristotle, B. Kant, C. Mill, D. Socrates? Well, Socrates invented the Socratic method, but Aristotle also acknowledged a debt to that. Next, he took a fatal dose of hemlock. A. Socrates, B. Aristotle, C. Mill. That was Socrates, who, because of his belief in philosophy, it was felt that he was corrupting the young people, and so he was sentenced to death by the government. And there is a famous picture in a New York museum where you see Socrates on his deathbed drinking the hemlock, and Plato is there in the picture. And this is considered a very sacred picture, similar to the Lord's Supper with the disciples in its importance in society. He said there was never a time with no motion. A. Aristotle, B. Kant, C. Mill. That would be A. Aristotle. So I think the best way to learn philosophy is to practice questions about these great authors. So this is the end of tape 3, and if you repeat it, you will be able to review these several important questions. Thank you.